Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
That was the sound on the streets of Hoboken, New Jersey, back in June of 2020, as thousands of people converged to protest the death of George Floyd in particular and systemic racism and police brutality in general. The long, ugly history of unprosecuted killings of black people in the U.S. finally provoked what many called a political movement under the banner of Black Lives Matter, beginning with the use of the hashtag on social media following the July 13th acquittal of George Zimmerman in the shooting death of African-American teen Trayvon Martin in February of the previous year. A wave of protests was catalyzed that swept the U.S. amid a series of police shootings that included such high-profile cases as that of Michael Brown and Eric Garner in 2014. These received wide national and global coverage and captured the attention of politicians, great and small, around the U.S. But not every case of the killing of innocents by security forces gains the attention of the media or the political classes, and where it does, it's not always for the better. One example is the case of a 16-year-old Palestinian girl shot and killed Sunday night by the Israeli military in the West Bank city of Jenin. That, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. The girl, identified as 16-year-old Jana Zakarna, was struck in the head while she was on the roof of her home, and she was found dead after the Israeli troops withdrew from Jenin, according to the Palestinian news agency Wafa. This was Jana's cousin, Yasser Zakana.
After the Israeli army stormed the Jenin camp and started shooting, Jana was in the house looking for her pet cat. She opened the door and tried to get her cat into the cage. That is when the occupation soldier fired 13 bullets at her, of which 4 bullets hit her body.
Jana's uncle Majed provided some details.
The shooting was close to us, about 50 meters away or even less. The detectives of the Palestinian Authority made preliminary investigations and found out that the Israeli soldiers were the ones who killed her. They examined the gunshots which were extracted from her body and proved to be identical with the ones found inside the house.
Palestinian authorities allege that Israeli forces have killed at least 165 Palestinians this year. That's at approximately the same rate that Black Lives Matter had claimed police killed black people in the United States. But at least one Israeli politician, MP Zvika Fogel, believes that Israel has actually been too merciful towards the Palestinians. In a YouTube video posted by Middle East Eye, Fogel is seen saying, "Anyone who wants to harm me, I will harm him back." And as far as I'm concerned, the concept of proportionality must cease to exist. So I will tell you something that is very unpleasant to say. If it is one Israeli mother crying or 1,000 Palestinian mothers crying, then 1,000 Palestinian mothers will cry. Fogel previously served as a general in the Israeli military before his election to parliament. He's considered a close ally of the man most people assume will be the next prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. Recent general elections in Israel have demonstrated that Fogel's views are far from marginal in politics there. Amir Oren, a writer and documentary filmmaker, spoke with RT in the aftermath of the shooting about the dangerous conditions that talk such as that expressed by Fogel, can unleash in the wake of this killing.
Well, retired Brigadier General Fogel was a well-known military officer. He never voiced such sentiments when he was on active duty. And it's quite baffling how he came to this extremist view when he joined with Itamar Ben-Gvir in order to be elected a Knesset member and perhaps get some portfolio, perhaps deputy minister or so. It's very unfortunate that he has chosen to use such a language. It does not reflect the views of Israeli military officers. It's abhorrent to think perhaps it's an exaggeration in order to drive home the point. But the problem is that such provocative language could add to the already explosive environment and drive extremists on both sides, Palestinians as well as Israelis, to move from words to actions.
For KPFK, I'm Don DeBar.